So we've finished our season down at Banks Chambered Tomb. We've been a little bit delayed in finishing because of just the sheer amount of bone that we've actually found in the west cell. So I'm just going to do a little summing up now because we've not done the daily diary for a little bit. So in the west cell we ended up finding these huge collections of human bone, and we actually found that there were different stages of in the burial sequence. So you might get a layer of human bone all jumbled up together with skulls of all ages, so there were children and adults all mixed in together, and then you might get a silty layer underneath where the tomb wasn't used so much, and then under that we found another collection of bones which might represent 2 or 3 people, and then even more bone under that. So we found a whole successive sequence of layers of bone and other material. Eventually we managed to get down to the floor of the cell, which consisted of a layer of clay, and this actually ran underneath the walls. So this was laid down during the tomb's construction, and underneath this was the natural bedrock. So we managed to expose the bedrock at the base of this quarry and get an idea of how that was cut into the natural rock. So we've had a really successful season at Banks Tomb. We've achieved our goals. We've assessed the deep and the human remains are actually quite complex. So this gives us a really good indication of what to expect in the other cells. So we would expect there to be a real concentration of human bones at the lower sort of main burial levels. One interesting thing we found through excavating in the west cell was that we've had the otters that have been using the tomb at a higher level with the closing deposits in the north, east and southern cells, but what we found in the west cell was that the otters have been using the tomb, and certainly the west cell, throughout the whole sequence of use, right from the very earliest stages after the first clay floor was laid down. We've got evidence of otters using this as a halt. We've even found otter jaw bones. They look like otter jaw bones and other probable bones from otters. So it doesn't seem to be a problem that otters are using the tomb at the same time as people are burying the dead. Another interesting thing we found is just today, in fact, one of the bones that looked like it could have been human was actually a fragment of antler. So we've got antler being placed in the tomb as well. But other than that, we found no artifacts other than a small stone, a coarse stone tool, probably a little hammer stone. It was found quite high up in the sequence. But lower down, we've just been getting the odd piece of animal bone. So none of the axes and mace heads that have been found in other tombs. But maybe these have been reserved for the passageway, the central chamber, and perhaps in the other cells. So we're currently washing all the bones and accumulating all the assemblage in the lab, and we'll be hoping to get some more funding and go back and have a look at the remainder of the tomb.